I'm Doug Cupper. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation for the City of Wichita. And I want to welcome you today to this hopefully first of many opportunities to do something to improve our environment. The rain garden that we're dedicating today, having the ribbon cutting for today, is a collaborative effort. And I won't dwell on that too much because I know one of my bosses is going to be talking about it here in a minute. But I do want to recognize a few members of my organization that really put some sweat and tears into this project as, again, first of many, something that we have been trying to educate our masses for the last 12 years, and that's to do something with the rainwater before it gets into our river. I'd like to introduce Larry Hoopmer, the principal planner, landscape architect for the Parks Department. He's the one that created the designs for this environment. His boss, the superintendent of park maintenance, David McGuire, that gave Larry the latitude to work on this project. And our landscape supervisor that was involved in, after the plants got put in there, to try to keep it alive through the heat of the summer, Miss Leanne Sack. I want to thank them for their efforts that went into this as well. The pros plan. Many of you that are here today, like Kathy standing over here to my left, you were involved in helping the Parks Recreation Open Space plan come to fruition. And of course, the councilwoman for this district as well and the vice mayor were involved in those even before they became elected officials. The pros plan itself said the people want more access to the river. They want a better river. That was all laid out in the pros plan in the public discussions. This is, again, one step towards the fruition of those priorities that the citizens gave us during the pros plan development. So we continue to strive, even during these economic times, to bring that pros plan to fruition and make it a reality. So again, we want to thank the EPA for giving us a grant and Wire for stepping up to the plate and getting that grant. Yes, by all means, thank you, Wire. Thank you, Elizabeth and Jack Brown. And with that, I'd like to introduce Janet Miller, councilwoman for this district, and keynote speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you all for being here this morning. I would like to recognize my colleague, Vice Mayor LaVonta Williams, who is here this morning. She and I share a passion for everything environmental and green and recreation and health and community. So I certainly appreciate her joining us here today. Isn't this a beautiful garden? Larry Hoopmer said to me earlier this week that he thought it was, he was apologizing because it was looking a little stressed from the heat, and I said, Larry, the fact that it's still alive is a testament to the wonderful staff and volunteers who've been working on it. If plants can live with the summer we've had, I think this is a sign it's going to flourish and even be more beautiful in future years. What you're looking at is an environmentally friendly solution to removing pollutants from stormwater runoff. Like the Grotto, rain gardens are designed close to a source of stormwater to slow the stormwater, to give opportunity to filter out the pollutants, and to prevent erosion as the water runs into the nearby water supply. This is a natural environmental treatment system which prevents pollutants from entering our river. Appropriate plants and materials were selected, of course, and Larry led that charge. Many of you will recognize what's here today since you all are, many of you are gardeners or environmentally oriented individuals. If you'd like to know more, there is signage up above that tells what kind of plants are here and more here, which I think demonstrates one of the primary uses of this garden, which is to educate the public about rain gardens, what they entail, and how they help our environment, and to let people know that these are projects they can do even in their own yard if on a smaller scale. This garden will play that important role. Many of you know and feel yourselves that Wichita's identity is based largely on our river. We have our own pronunciation of the river. We take great interest and pride in it, and even this week the river was featured in a newspaper photograph. And so having something this close to the river, this close to the Veterans Memorial Park, to the Keeper, to Exploration Place, right on the river path, this is a prime location where people will be able to, it's so inviting to stop here as a respite. And so it will be not only a beautiful place and a respite, but it will also serve as education for our citizens. And I'm suspecting that because we have two academics working on this project, that it could possibly be submitted to journals for highlighting this project, and that we may even get some attention from the state or at a national level about what has been accomplished here, and that's very exciting too. Before concluding, I would really, really like to thank all of the partners involved in this, and I hesitate to do that by name because I think every single one of you who is here, short maybe of the media, have actually participated in planning or implementation of this project, and I really, really appreciate that. WIRE, of course, Wichita's effort to renew the environment, is a key partner. White Hillman, as an individual, has led charges, and he wanted me to know that they will be working on planting in Riverside this weekend, and that many weekends they have planting projects. So if any of you are looking for new planting projects, given the cooler weather, White's your man. I really am very appreciative to city staff. We have made had to make some major reductions in staff over the past couple of years, and sometimes having additional projects can be difficult. But I never heard one single complaint from any staff member who said, we're short on staff and you want me to do what? And I really, really appreciate the contributions that you have made to this project. And we have partners from the Extension Center through the Master Gardener program and Naturalist program, which I really, really appreciate your help here. We've had volunteers from the Air Force Base work on to do maintenance, and certainly Johnson's Garden Center was a contributor to the project, and I know we have Barclay Construction here and other contractors, and I just cannot thank you enough for this partnership that has brought this beautiful amenity and education opportunity to our community. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Elizabeth Obla from University of Kansas, representing WIRE, to share some words.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm an assistant professor at the University of Kansas School of Medicine in Wichita in the Department of Preventive Medicine and Public Health. I am the principal investigator of WIRE. It is the Wichita Initiative to Renew the Environment. And it's a $300,000 cooperative agreement from the Environmental Protection Agency. On behalf of the University of Kansas School of Medicine, Wichita, and WIRE, I welcome you, and I am so thrilled that you are here today with me to celebrate this very fabulous Grotto rain garden. I recognize that I'm very enthusiastic about this, and I want you to be enthusiastic about this as well. I know many of you are, but I want you to have a little bit of history as to why this is so significant today. In 2008, KU School of Medicine Wichita received some funding from the EPA to identify the environmental concerns from the community. We went to the community to ask them what their concerns were. We conducted 52 discussion groups and involved more than 1,500 citizens to ask them what their concerns were, and that resulted in 92 pages of environmental concerns. We, in the meantime, developed a 25-member volunteer environmental leadership council who categorized those 19 concerns, those 92 pages into 19 concerns. They produced and presented videos and fact sheets in English and in Spanish to educate the community, went out to and met with 800 additional people, 43 different groups, asking them to then once they've been educated on these topics, to then prioritize those concerns. So following the prioritization process, we have a community concern list from this community about what our environmental concerns are. Number 2, behind the need for recycling, on the list of environmental concerns for Wichita, is pollution in the Arkansas River. In October of 2010, we received additional funding from the EPA to begin addressing some of our prioritized concerns. Specific to the pollution of the Arkansas River concern, the Grotto Rain Garden is the first of 3 rain garden demonstration projects. The next rain garden is being developed with North High School students and faculty. This brings me to an extremely important point that I think really needs to be underscored for this entire event, and that is partnerships. There are more partnering organizations, like Janet Miller indicated, and more individuals than I can possibly name. However, I do want to highlight a few that have really dedicated a significant amount of time and energy to making this a reality. And if you want to make a woot woot or raise your hand, please do so. First of all, the City of Wichita Parks and Rec Department, please raise your hands if you are part of Parks and Rec. Thank you. Larry Hootmer in particular has shared his incredible knowledge and vision for this rain garden from day one, and we're extremely appreciative of your time. Watershed Restoration and Protection Strategy, RAPS, please raise your hand if you're part of RAPS. Becky Lewis in particular, City of Wichita and the RAPS are providing 2 rain barrels. If you have not yet, by the way, received a raffle ticket, Grizzly, who has the red hat on and he's got his raffle tickets, you can get a raffle from him. The K-State Extension Agency, especially Tanya Bronlewey, please raise your hand proudly. Thank you, Tanya. So grateful for your time. Master Gardeners, Master Naturalists, if you're here, please raise your hand. Helped plant these things. Thank you. The Environmental Leadership Council, if you are a member, please raise your hand. Oh my goodness, look at this fabulous group. The Water Center, Libby Albers in particular. Thank you, Libby, for designing all of the interpretive signage. Just an incredible effort that you've done. Stonescapes and Barclay Construction in particular provided the cookies, and Johnson Garden Center. And last but not least, the Environmental Protection Agency, which really provided KU School of Medicine, Wichita, and Wire the funding to be able to have the materials and make this rain garden a reality. Now, I invite those with scissors to please proceed with up to the cutting, the ribbon cutting, please.
1, 2, 3.